You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. I have not seen any mainstream network, even ones hosted by black folks, covering the story of Quawan Bobby Charles. The 15-year-old black boy found dead in a sugarcane field in November after investigators say he was last seen with a white woman and her 17-year-old son. Now, she has been arrested. But the question is, what's going on? She wasn't arrested for his murder. What exactly is happening? Ronald Haley is the family attorney for Quawan Charles' family. He joins us right now. Ronald, again, it is stunning to me that when you hear this story, national media has not focused on this. Is your phone ringing? People at CNN and MSNBC and Fox News and ABC and NBC and CBS calling you to figure out how did this 15-year-old boy all of a sudden come up murdered? And we obviously cover news. So let me warn everybody right now. I did this last night. I'm giving you a 60-second warning before we actually show the photo. This precocious young man, to see him, to see that look, that photo, and then to see how he was found. Badly beaten, teeth ticked in, the face just scarred. I mean, who's shining a light on what's going on down there in Iberia Parish?
Listen, myself and activists on the ground are beating the pavement for truth and transparency in this case. As it relates to Janet Irvin, it is a step in the right direction.
Right.
As I told some folks the other day, justice is never too late. However, in the case of Janet Irvin, we felt that the charge of failing to report a missing child could have been brought against her days after Quawan's death. And we felt that was the first domino to drop, that maybe folks that have additional information in regards to his death and cover-up, because we believe that there is a cover-up in regards to his death, would come forward and tell the truth. If not for guilt, maybe self-preservation.
What's also bothersome here is the initial reaction of the cops.
Absolutely.
For them to say, oh, he's probably at a football game. How do you know that? Like, it just should you just make that assumption? And again, this is what we talk about in whiteness in America. If a 15-year-old white girl had come up missing, no way in hell they would have blown that off.
No, listen, what's absolutely frustrating, Roland, is this. We know that after they started taking it somewhat seriously, they pinged his cell phone. They ping his cell phone, less than 12 hours later, he's found. What's sad about that is, based on our own independent investigation, we were able to prove that Quawan Charles was alive at least the next day.
Are you saying that, wait a minute, hold on, go back. So you're saying that had they actually shown any interest and pinged this phone in the first few hours,
he's in trouble and not dead.
Wow. 12 hours later, they ping his phone, and they're able to
find him in that condition and face down in the sugarcane field. And what's more troubling, but again, any piece of information we get, we're trying to piece together a jigsaw puzzle here. The final autopsy report came out from Iberia, and it had some telling things in there. They still claim the cause of death is drowning. However, they cannot determine whether or not the cause of death was via suicide, via accident, or homicide. Well, I think you could look at that report and listen, we all took our ACTs, SATs, standardized tests. You know, they give us those paragraphs and you're trying to find out maybe not the perfect answer, but the most logical answer. They said that the individuals that he was with claimed that he woke up in a fit and said he's going to kill himself. Well, that's pretty convenient. The folks that are being looked at for his murder want to pass this off as some type of suicide. Well, the coroner, in his own report, states that suicides by drowning are rare, but they happen. In Quawan's case, he's found in 1.5 feet of water. I would suggest that drowning in 1.5 feet of water isn't a rarity; it's an anomaly if it did happen. So you could cross that out. Then folks said, "Well, look, maybe he has some drugs, alcohol in the system." Well, according to the toxicology report, low levels of THC, low levels of alcohol, and some of that alcohol could be contributed to the decomposition of the body, because we know that as the body decomposes, sometimes it naturally produces ethanol. But those levels were low, which means by process of elimination, Roland, he wasn't too high, too drunk, slipped and fell into 1.5 feet of water and just didn't know where he was at and drowned himself. Further, we know he had no underlying health conditions. This was not an aneurysm or heart attack. He did not have epilepsy, anything that could have rendered him incapacitated in that condition. So what does that leave us? It leaves us to homicide. If a 15-year-old child ran away from your house and saying, you know what, I'm going to kill myself, I'm going crazy, and you don't call his mama, you don't call his daddy, you don't even call the police until 1.5 days later on your lunch break. Again, if we're taking an ACT, SAT, LEAP score, or any type of test that has multiple choice, what choice are you going to choose?
So hold up. So this Irvin and her son, was there a relationship between Bobby and them? Did he know them?
He did.
He did. No.
Yes.
Were they classmates? Were they friends?
They're friends from school.
Okay, they're friends from school. But the mother had no idea they were coming by.
No, the mother picked them up.
No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So when Bobby was at home, was anyone else home?
No. His dad may have been home. There's some timing issues of when his dad got home versus didn't. But she, being the adult, picked him up without his father's permission from his father's house and took him to their residence.
She picks him up. She doesn't communicate at all with the mother or the father. They had no idea she was picking them up.
Absolutely no idea.
They had no idea she was taking them to the house.
Nope.
So what story has she given to explain how Bobby went from their house to dead? First of all, where he was found, how far is that from their house?
A hop, skip, and a jump.
So did she or her son say Bobby left their home and ran off or something?
That's the excuse they're giving.
And so Bobby, let's say for the sake of this discussion, we accept that Bobby runs off. Did they run after Bobby? Or they just let Bobby run out the house and went, all right, he gone?
Allegedly, they went and looked for him for a little while and then decided, you know what? I guess he gone. Even though he's 30 minutes from his house.
And at no point did Irvin or her son call the cops to say this 15-year-old boy who was at our house ran away. They just went to sleep.
Oh, sure, they did. 1.5 days later, Janet decided on her lunch break that it was kind of important to inform police at that time.
Wait, 1.5 days later? Wait a minute, hold up. So you mean tell me Bobby leaves, according to them, Bobby leaves, he's gone. The next day, her son or her don't call the house to check to see if Bobby got home safely.
Nope.
Then the day after that, they go, I guess we ought to call the cops.
If you could believe it.
Okay. Who is leading the investigation? Is it the Iberia Sheriff's Department? Is it the state? Who's leading this investigation?
The Sheriff's Department right now has the investigation.
Do you trust them to run this investigation?
Listen, there's a whole lot of stuff going on in policing within the state of Louisiana right now. in regards to investigations of missing children, in regards of excessive force cases. I'm hopeful that they do the right thing. I'm hopeful that although this is late, in the next step or this step in the right direction will lead to dominoes that will ultimately give the family the peace they deserve. But I'm not going to hold my breath. And it's sad for me to say that. I wish to tell you something differently. I think you can look at how long it took to arrest Janet Irvin on, again, the very obvious charge of failing to report a missing child. You don't need a toxicology report to get arrested for that. You don't need an independent autopsy or an official autopsy to come back to arrest somebody for that. We know she didn't report him missing from the first week.
Ronald Haley, we appreciate it. We certainly will keep covering this story, keep us updated on what happens next.
Absolutely. Take care, Roland.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially of Roland Martin Unfiltered. I mean, hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you have, you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it. Please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.